Hello world, it is day 5 of my Mediterranean diet. Today I want to talk about how to save a little bit of money while you're buying this expensive healthy food. I'll also talk about at the end of the video what I ate today. Of course, I'll leave a greater description of that, a more detailed description of that in the description of this video. As far as saving money, in the last video I talked a little bit about how it is going to cost you more money to eat a Mediterranean diet. Healthy food is more expensive than frozen food and processed food. I have 3 tips today for how to save money on food, and maybe as I continue this diet I'll figure out some more. But for now, these are my 3 tips. Number 1, don't follow recipes exactly. Be willing to substitute cheaper ingredients for more expensive ingredients. One thing I've found in the Mediterranean diet recipes that I've found online, these recipes often use ingredients that are kind of expensive. There are a lot of recipes that use kind of fancier cheeses or fancier produce or fancier olives or whatever, and that can start to rack up a price that will be prohibitive for you, possibly, if you're not willing to substitute some things. For example, tonight, I'll talk about it a little bit later in the video, but we made a salad that called for grape tomatoes, 4 pints of grape tomatoes. Those are the little ones. Those are expensive when you buy them in the little packages at the store, and we were supposed to buy 4 of them for this recipe, and that would be kind of a lot of money. So instead of that, I bought regular tomatoes and just diced them. They're not going to be exactly the same as the other tomatoes, but we saved some money on that. A couple nights ago, we had fish, and we were supposed to, well, the recipe called for salmon, but we used tilapia, and the reason was it was a lot less expensive at the store. So whatever you can do, if you can think of a cheaper way of doing it than what a recipe says, then do it that way. If a recipe calls for feta cheese and you just want to put mozzarella in it, then I'm sure the foodies out there are like rolling their eyes super hard right now. But if price is a big problem for you, don't worry about the expensive stuff. Pick something that's less expensive that you can still enjoy and use that instead. Tip number 2, buy produce that's on sale. Sometimes, certain times of year, I'm sure you've noticed, some produce is less expensive than others. Right now in our stores, oranges are usually on a better deal. The other day, raspberries and blueberries were on sale. That must be because they're being harvested somewhere in the world and flown in right now. And that's the thing. The reason that some produce gets cheaper is because it's fresh, because it's being harvested somewhere in the world, and it's being brought to your stores from there. So when you can buy produce that's on sale, not only are you going to save money, but it's going to taste better. The berries that I bought the other day were amazing. Oranges this time of year are amazing. Apples in the fall are amazing. Then the variety is greater. There's just a lot of benefits to buying the stuff that's cheaper. So a lot of Mediterranean diet sample menus and ideas tell you to eat a piece of fruit for dinner, or mix fruit in with your oatmeal, or add fruit to this or that. And a lot of the time it doesn't tell you what kind of fruit to add. Sometimes it does tell you, add this kind of fruit. You don't always have to follow that. Buy whatever fruit is on sale and use that. You can mix apple into your oatmeal. You can mix raisins in. Whatever's on sale is great. So buy what's on sale. Tip number 3, don't eat out. It does take a lot more time to cook your own food, but eating out is going to be bad for a couple of reasons. One meal out can cost a lot more than a home-cooked meal, depending on your ingredients. And especially if you're paying, my wife and I have 4 children. If we go eat out as a family, we're dropping a lot of money on that meal. But I can buy quite a bit of nice food for the same price at the grocery store and make something amazing. So yeah, it takes more time and it's hard. Eating out is convenient. But if you're dedicated to eating more healthy, eating out is going to be it's going to be a challenge anyway. It's hard to go to a restaurant and find food that's going to be healthy. So, depending on what restaurants you go to, obviously. So, a tip to save money: don't eat out. Eating out is expensive and often less healthy. So, those are 3 tips. Maybe as I continue this video series, I'll find other ways to save money and I'll let you know what those are. If you're in the United States, I'll tell you bonus tip number 4. If you're in the United States, you can use a website called Grocery Smarts that lets you see what's on sale. You put in what state you're in and then what grocery store you usually shop in, and it will tell you what's on sale this week and how good that deal is right now relative to how much that item is typically priced. You buy the 4-star and 5-star deals, and you're going to find some foods that are a lot less expensive than normal, especially when it comes to fruits and vegetables. If you go for those deals, you're going to get what's fresh, what's in season, what's cheap. By cheap, I mean, of course, less expensive. So, as for today's meals, for breakfast, I had oatmeal again. I mixed in some fruit and nuts. I did not mix in any sugar today, and it was not as good. But it was food, and I ate it. And it was fine. For lunch, I had another veggie sandwich. I put it on whole grain wheat bread. I had lettuce and tomato and cucumber. I put peperoncinis on it, which was a nice pop of flavor, and I put some red bell pepper on there. You can also top your vegetable sandwich. So I put a piece of provolone on there, and you could probably put a little mayo on there if you wanted to, especially if you can buy mayonnaise that's made out of extra virgin olive oil or whatever. That might be a little healthier. You can also just put olive oil on your sandwich and vinegar and pepper and maybe some herbs to try and flavor it and make it a little less dry. It's not the most glamorous or delicious lunch, I'll admit, but it's healthy stuff. For dinner tonight, we made a salad to go along with some leftovers. We've had some leftovers. The meals we've been making have actually lasted longer than I thought they would. So that's another nice thing about cooking your own food. Often you make a bigger meal and it can end up lasting you 2 nights, and then you have leftovers besides that. So tonight we still have leftover chicken from day 1. We still had leftover fish from day 3. I don't remember exactly when we made that. And we had leftover pizza from last night, and so we gave the kids the option, and we took the option, eat a little bit of something left over, and then we ate this tomato salad on the side. The tomato salad had tomatoes, olives, cheese, red onion, and some fresh basil and thyme. It was dressed in olive oil and vinegar. There was pepper on there, a little bit of salt. It was good. Kind of a punch in the mouth as far as flavor went, but I'll leave the recipe in the description of the video. I'll leave a link. You can try it. This is a salad that you could eat this just as your main thing. We ate it on the side. I'm not sure if it would be quite as satisfying if it were the only thing you ate, but you could do that if you wanted to. And after dinner was over, I cheated hard on this diet, I'm afraid. We had a church Christmas party in our neighborhood that we went to, and there were all kinds of goodies there, and they had chocolate peanut butter bars, which I'm afraid I was quite powerless to resist. I ate 2 of them. So that was not good for my diet, but it was very good for my taste buds. I guess I justified it because it's Friday night, and I thought maybe I could eat something bad once a week. I don't know. If you're super dedicated, don't do that. If you're like me, then maybe we can eat sugary things very once in a while and be okay. Anyway, that was my day today. I'll check back in tomorrow and tell you what I ate then, and maybe have some tips for something else. I really have no idea what I'm talking about now. I've clearly run out of things to say. It's the end of the video, and I just don't know how to end these videos, so there you go.